All right, so we're going to talk a little bit about Skowronek. Ben Skowronek, because he has been involved a lot more in the offense as of late, and well, he has been impressing a lot of people, myself included. He was kind of like a reserve player, like a reserve wide receiver last year. I thought he was a serviceable wide receiver. I think that's the word I would use, serviceable. But he just really couldn't catch very well. I mean, there were opportunities where he just couldn't catch it. I think there was one in the Super Bowl where he dropped a football, and that's just something he needed to work on. Some people thought he was kind of slow. I thought maybe he was kind of slow too, but not a crazy like unserviceable way, just not as fast as some of the others. My biggest criticism personally against him was that he just couldn't catch the football. Well, through the first 3 weeks of the NFL, it would appear that Ben Skowronek has has improved that and has been working on himself this past off season, and it is beginning to show. He is beginning to see some of the fruits of his labor, his hard labor that he has put in the off season. And as a fan of this football team, um, I appreciate it because, quite frankly, it's he's helped us out a lot in a big way too. So let's get into this because one of the ways he did not only work on himself as a wide receiver, he has become much more versatile in the offense where Sean is now using him in the fullback position. We've seen him in the I form position the past couple weeks, and yeah, I tell you what, Ben is pretty physical, and I gotta say, like it is something I wasn't really expecting from him, like last year or 2 years ago, whenever he first got on the team. But this was something I noticed last year, like in a special teams play. I saw him like rock the hell out of somebody, and I just remember thinking, "Oh man, dang, that was a pretty good hit." I couldn't believe this guy did that. But from all accounts, it appears that he's quite the physical player, which, as you all know, I love physical football players for sure. Okay, we need as many of them as possible for sure. And Skowronek, and I'm making sure I'm getting it right because I think I've been pronouncing his name wrong for a long time. And that's, and I want to get their names right. All right. I don't want to get anyone's names wrong. It's disrespectful, excuse me. And I want to try to get people's names right. It just doesn't happen sometimes because I'm a bit of an idiot sometimes. So it just kind of, it is what it is. But let's go ahead and look at some of this physicality that he has been showcasing. This is last week against the Cardinals. And this was nuts because this is a play where Ben Skowronek blocks a 300-pound defensive lineman, but then on the same play, he makes a catch. So let's go ahead and play this. All right, this is last week against the division rival Arizona Cardinals. And here is Ben Skowronek. I do believe he's caught a nickname on Turf Show Times' fellowship community in the comment section. I believe he is called Moose, if I'm not mistaken. Moose, I believe, is his nickname. And if it's and it fits, check this out. Boom! Look at that. You see that? And by the way, I think that's J.J. Watt. So watch this. Boom! Knocks him down. Okay, there's Stafford in the pocket. Dumps it off. Oh, hey, look, he's standing up now. Runs and gets a good gain. And this dude's salty. This Cardinal's salty right here, number 38 or 39, rather. I don't know. But this was pretty impressive. Like, I want to watch this again and just watch him, like, lay the smackdown. Yep, that is JJ Watt. This is JJ Watt. He's a pretty good defensive player. And Ben Skowronek here completely blows him up. Okay, because he's here helping Joe Noteboom. Noteboom doesn't even have to engage. He doesn't even have to engage. Ben said, "No, man, I got this. It's cool. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it." Knocks him down. Okay, takes him down. Okay, bar brawl style. All right. The camera pans away. This dude stands up. This is the same play, catches it, and picks up what, like 4 or 5 yards? And he's salty. Number 39 salty. I just figured that was such a really good play, and I appreciate the hustle. I got to be honest. And Ben Skowronek is fast becoming a favorite of mine. I just love scrappy physical football players that are not like highly regarded. Do you know what I mean? Kind of like well known, like a high draft pick. He went to a big school. The media's been blowing up smoke up his ass his whole life. Oh, look at me, I'm so important. I'm a big time football player. Which is, hey, if you're talented, you're talented. That's awesome, man. Take advantage of it. But every once in a while, it is nice to see someone who is universally pretty unknown, someone who, at least on paper, isn't as talented as some of the other higher well-known guys, higher drafted guys, but he's a grinder. Okay, he comes in, works hard, works on himself, betters himself, and over the course of his career becomes a better football player over time, just stacking the bricks brick by brick, stacking them bricks. And the next thing you know, he's now pretty heavily involved in the offense now. And from what we've seen so far, I think he's going to continue to be pretty involved in the offense. And that's pretty awesome, man. I'm proud of this dude because he's someone who, like, just wasn't very well known. He was lower on the depth chart. He had kind of a flaw. He wasn't the fastest. He couldn't catch. That was my big thing for him. He couldn't catch the ball. He must have heard that criticism from like the Rams fandom as a whole and his coaches. Took it upon himself to better himself, get better. Did that. And through 3 games, it would appear that he has become a better football player and is now, believe it or not, a important part of this offense. We lost Van Jefferson in the beginning of the year, so he had to step up. Tutu hasn't been doing anything. And so Ben Skowronek comes in, is playing quite well. And I tell you what, he blew up a linebacker too on that Cam Akers touchdown. That was beautiful. Beautiful stuff. So that's going to be it. I just wanted to just kind of say that I'm proud of this dude and I'm happy to see him involved in this offense and that he's producing in this kind of new role, learning a new position. That's not easy to do, but he said to Sean, "I'm a football player," and that's the attitude that, like, if you're a coach, that's you want as many football players, regardless of what position they play. You want as many football players with that mindset as possible. You do. And to be honest, it's just not everyone's going to have that mindset. It's just not going to happen. Okay? Not everyone has that mindset. And when you find someone, even if he's someone that's not as well known, kind of lower on the depth chart, you keep him and you try to develop him as much as possible, because if his skills get better, he still has that mentality and he can turn into a pretty darn good football player for you. And we may have just found our new full-time fullback. So look at that, man. Full-time full I should say full-time wide receiver 3, part-time fullback is probably what I should say, but you get what I mean. So that's going to be it. I look forward to seeing, I believe he's going to have a pivotal role in this week's matchup against the 49ers. It's 49er week. So, I look forward to seeing that. So, very much looking forward to seeing how he develops throughout the year. But so far, so good. Congratulations, Ben. So, and I look forward to watching you more. So, I'm going to cut it off here. I will catch you guys on the next one. And as always, go Rams.